Okay, now we're probably back. And this time I think finally. Uh, so the problem was there were two problems. One was that the delay was actually so big that there was feedback coming in from you guys, which is good, but it was only like yeah, a few moments like in the past that I actually was like streaming. So yeah, again, big apologies also from, like that's one thing with IT in general, like it's things always break and you need to test it yeah, very long before. So right now I fixed it. I also got another screen open with actually the live stream so I can see where I'm actually at with the talking point and everything so I can connect the feedback um, to the moment which we're streaming at the moment. So once again, big apologies, and the next time I will do better with the preparation and everything. But just you're gonna fly, we're gonna just go forward. So where we left off was with the connecting of the data. So that's here. I just loaded all the different things from the CSV file into Power BI. And here's what's getting interesting. We're going to explore the data a bit. So as you probably, as I probably was telling, but I couldn't show you, was we have products right here, right? So this is what I was talking about. We have our currencies right here. So on the left side, I will see if I can make it a bit bigger. Probably not at this screen, unfortunately. So you have to look at it with me in the CSV file. But like in the right-hand side, you have the different tabs with all the different information. So we have customers, we're just going to go through it quickly. Orders, we have sales, and we have warehouses, where all the locations of our offices are. So that data we're going to need to clean up because there are some things that need to be fixed. Let's do that as a first. We're just going to go through all of them and clean them up quickly. So I didn't tell it yet, but on the left-hand side, you got three buttons, as you can see. You got the report button, you got the data button, and then you got the model button. So the model one we're going to look at a little bit later, but the most important ones are the report and the data buttons. So the report, here you have an overview of where actually your beautiful dashboard is going to be. So like the front end, and then the data is sort of like what is under the hood. Data-wise that you've loaded. Uh, Side note, you can do one data set, you can multiple data sets and combine them, and eventually you can make something that we saw in the last live stream, like a nice overview of everything. So if you then go to the data part, that is where we're gonna do some work. If you go to data and then click on home in the top part, you have a bunch of options, which one of which is to transform that data. You're gonna click that. Well, you should. So we're just gonna go through all of them. Currencies is a very simple one. You can see this sign, which means it's a number. It's not a name, but a number. We're going into a bit of depth with that later. But it's a very simple data set, only got two values, which is 1 and 0.3. And you got the currency BES and the currency euro. So um, then you have orders, and that becomes a bit more interesting. Remember what I was talking about last time with the numbers? Well, here it's a name, so it's a different form of value. So you had names, and here was number. And also this is has sort of weird column names. It has column 1, column 2, column 3, and we don't want that. We want to have names that actually make sense for us as a viewer. So we see then that the first line starts with order ID, product ID, warehouse ID. That's the stuff that we want. So we're gonna promote these things to headers. That's how we're gonna like solve that problem. And we can do that quite easily if you, yeah, it's just under home, and then you have a button right here, and it says use first rows as headers. Uh, I see it's a bit small on the screen. Uh, but it's, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're just gonna need to, uh, okay, next time I will make sure that I can also zoom in, but right now it's not possible. I'm just gonna do it. Use first row as headers. So now it's a bit better, right? So now the things are more user-friendly to read, which is gonna be beneficial later when we create a dashboard. So you have your order ID with the product ID with the warehouse ID and so products. Now on the right-hand side, you see the applied steps. So if you have Power BI open, you can probably see it a bit better. You have applied steps. So you have the yeah, the different steps that you go through to actually transform the data. So now if we go to customers, you have the customer ID, first name, register date. This is a new data type that we haven't looked at yet, which is a date. And we can use it later to actually filter on, yeah, on date level. So you can take like a range of time. You will see that all later. It's gonna come in handy. But the headers look good, so we can go continue. Here, headers actually also look good with products. Just looks, yeah, quite straightforward. And actually also with the sales, same thing. Also just looks all good. And then warehouse, we have the same problem we had with orders, namely that there's like a weird column name. So we're gonna use the first row as headers. And we also see that there's a lot of null values in the data, which you also, it's quite polluting. So you will see those back in the data set eventually. So we're gonna filter those out as well. And that we can do if you go on the header, you do the right click, and there should be an option somewhere where you can say uh, remove the null value. So let's see, there's replace errors, remove errors. Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, that's not it. Sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. That is only if there are errors. A null value is not an error. A null value is just that there is like an empty space. So it's not that like it's wrong data. It's just that like there's nothing in there. Still a problem, still polluting. So you can do that via that you have all the data and you select the right box. You can unselect the empty values. You can do it here. So now the empty values are removed. And yeah, it looks all good. So this was the final one. Now we have all the data, the different tables that are now cleaned. So that's done, and you can click on close and apply. So now we have the data. So then we can actually we can go one level deeper depending on what the, if we get any comments on it, any questions. No, okay. We can go one level deeper, which is one level under the hood again, and there you see like the different tables and how they are connected. So you see customers and sales are connected, for example. We have the warehouse tab, which is connected to the orders and which is connected to the products. And there you can yeah, see like the relations and how do you say it? These are called like table relations. Then you don't have to remember this. It's just important to know that like if there's no relation between two tables, then you cannot filter out things from one table and that it automatically also filters things from the other table. So actually maybe this might not make too much sense at this point in time. So we're just gonna create the visuals and then I can explain if we run into a problem. It probably has to do with something with this stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna do some real fun stuff. We're gonna go and actually build the dashboard. So we're gonna do that with visualizations. Just gonna go and quickly explain. So we have a dashboard over here, a a yeah, that's where eventually our things gonna take place. And over here we have all the different visualizations. So here is things that we can drag in and put into the data and into the dashboard and make it more pretty with all different visualizations. And they're based on fields. So here you see the fields that we just imported and cleaned actually. So I'm just gonna give you a bit of time to experiment yourself and just like go to different visualizations. You can just like click on them and drag them in and put some data in there, and then we're gonna continue. So just a little bit of time for that. And if you yeah, and then we're gonna continue in a bit. Okay, so this is yeah, this is then our clean sheet. You can put in some visualizations. So what we, for example, would be nice to do is first make a good title, which is the one of the most the easiest one, right? As we saw in the other dashboard example I made earlier, can do something like that. So a title is you can do text boxes. So we're just gonna start easy and go more and more difficult. Text box goes in here. And there yeah, we're gonna call it what it is so that people know what it's about. And it's gonna be called Ostruta merge. So here, right, we have, you can also do fonts and everything. Um, so yeah, you have some formatting stuff that you can like do with colors and everything, and but we just want to to create put some text in there. Uh, yeah, let's do it. Let's see, just have to remember how do you actually get. It should be easy, right? Just get like here and just start typing. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, it's not more difficult than it has to be. So we're gonna do like this, maybe. I always like that, like a bit of spacing in it, and then I'll start double merge Chen dice. And then we're gonna make it a bit prettier. So yeah, it has to be big, of course. You have to be able to actually be able to read it. There, that looks better. Also the merchandise. And you can make what I like to do, for example, is also add a bit of color. So you can do yeah, you know what it's about. Just yeah, like this, for example. And then you have the actual font, but you can also do like some background color add as well. That you actually have to do within Power BI. So you can go to the right hand side. You see like format text box, and there you can also do some crazy stuff there. So we're gonna do a background color if Power BI lets me. Because currently it it's not liking me. See, there you go. Oh yeah, oh, sorry, this is for the title. This is actually our title, but it means the title of this text box, so it's not that. So it's this is background. We want to have it. Let's do it like silver or something. There you go. So that's the title. We just start easy and get the stuff going. So that's yeah, you can do text boxes. You can also do you can do an image. So I can, if I am correct, I can also I can insert and I can do a image. So it just goes to my directory. Wait, it's loading. There you go. And I want to actually be able to show what we're working with. So gonna do a nice picture of the merchandise in here. You know, if maybe some employees have questions of how it looks like, or just because it looks fun. Also add some picture in there. And now this is only for the making stuff pretty, but now we're gonna actually do some Power BI. Now we're gonna make some visualizations. So visualization over here, you might have tried a couple already. One that I really like personally is the map one. So if you have offices all over the world, or even like within a region or whatever, you can create a map of all the offices or locations that you have. So what you do then, you have the map visualization, right? And there you need to put in some information. The information that we're gonna use first is actually just we're gonna put in all our different warehouses. So yeah, we remember from the sheet that we got the warehouse one, right? Got location and ID. And actually it's not that difficult in Power BI. You can just tick the boxes and we should be good to go. We might have to move some things around because right now it's location is shown as warehouse ID and legend is location. And that should actually be, just give me a second, I'm just gonna quickly check. Oh yeah, of course. That location needs to be location, obviously, and warehouse needs to be legend. So there you go. Let's see. If you make this a bit bigger, there you have it. We have now a map, and from all the data from all the different offices that we have is now like nicely in this map. So yeah, Antarctica, we apparently have an office. Don't ask why. We got one in where we are right now in the Netherlands. We got one in Finland. We also got a lot of different ones in Eastern Europe, so to see, and we got now like in Spain. We got another one, and also one in in Georgia. So okay, yeah, I you can do this if you want. You can have like these nice blue balls on, or how to say it, like different ball colors in the title if you want to have the legend. To actually look up like blue means ID 1 and dark blue means ID 10. I personally find it nicer to hide that. So if you do that, if you want to do that, then you can go to Format on the right-hand side, which is next to the Field button. So over here. And in the Format one, you can then you can turn off the legend. Easy as that. So that is a nice start, I think. Also, you can disable the title because yeah, we know it's location and warehouse. So title you can switch off. And there we have a nice map. Okay, that's a nice start, I think. But what if we want to filter through it? We want to make our first filter. And filters within Power BI are like like data filters. So things you can click through to select or unselect certain things. Here it's called actually not a filter but a slicer. In the slicer, you can then like do it on top of it. It will all make more sense once we have some visuals. We want to make a slicer where we can go through the different locations. If you only want to, for example, see what's going on in Spain, that you can then select that. So if you do that, you create the slicer, and within the slicer, you can then tick on location. And then it goes into, if you can scroll through it, it goes through all different boxes which you can tick, but you can also What I personally like more is that you can create a drop down. So you click on the little arrow on the right hand side and you select drop down. So here, so now we can filter to locations, which is quite useful. Here, for example, what did we say? Spain. So here, you click on Spain, and then it automatically goes to Spain. Uh, yeah, quite nice. And if you then want to deselect, you can just click on it, and it deselects, and we're back at our map that we created first. All right, so yeah, that's the first thing. Now we want to, of course, also see how good we're doing with sales data and everything. So let's see, what would be the next level? I have a good idea. I have a good idea. We're gonna do a we're gonna do an overview of what is actually being sold in which country. So we know like product A is being sold a lot in this country and product B is gonna be sold a lot in this country. Might be nice. So for that, you might have guessed we're gonna make another drop-down list. Uh, it's gonna be a big friend of us. You will see later those drop-down lists to filter through stuff. By the way, I'm now dragging in a new one. You don't need to do that. You can also just copy paste old ones, right? So now that's the exact same size and everything, which is also nice. And now we're not gonna do location, but we're gonna do products. So the description of the products. And I think if we then select, okay, you know, this is the thing I was talking about in the beginning with the relationship table. Power BI needs to somehow know that if we select a certain product, that it then shows like in which country those products are located, right? So I just want to quickly show that then the warehouse, it knows because if you select a certain location, it knows, uh, it connects the order that is in the database from the warehouse to the location, and then it connects the order to the certain product. But this might be a bit too high leveled at the moment, so I'm just gonna leave that for now. We're gonna go through it, but not at this point, because we're gonna need to make modifications in the relationship table. First, we're gonna go just one level higher. We're gonna go and um, and give an overview of all the orders that have come in. So one of the most basic visuals, which you probably also know from other applications. Oh, I see some questions coming in. I'm coming back to the questions in a bit. So first, we're gonna go do the order real quick. One of the most basic things that you might know from other applications is there's a basic table. I'm gonna use that for the orders. So in here, we can create a visual with all the orders in it. Just gonna quickly check like how do I want to do this? Oh yeah, sales data. That's what we're gonna put in. So we're gonna go. We're gonna show which order was sold on which date. So there you go. You have the table. We're gonna put in a date, and we're gonna put in an order. Simple as that. You can also mix these around. So if you drag the order up top, then it it shows the order, and then after that all the metadata, you know, with the year and which quarter and which month and which day. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the questions real quick. Oh, it has been resolved. Okay, so I don't need to go to the questions. The question was how do you load the data? I only have a blank map. So yeah, that's then you have to get the data. If you have loaded the CSV file, that's the first step, of course. And then you just have to you have to tick the boxes. It's actually as easy as that of like the different locations. That was the solution to the question. But it has been resolved, so that's good. Now, like what might be interesting is if we, how do you say it? Yeah, you can highlight the orders, but actually what I also want is that it then will show in which location it was, in which location that order has been, uh, yeah, has been ordered. So let me just quickly check why that is not, because it has a relationship with, it has a warehouse ID and also has a warehouse ID here, and it's connected on there. So location, warehouse ID and the order ID. Oh, that's because this is, yeah. I'm using the sales data, and that does not have doesn't have a relation. Orders does. So with orders it should work. So we're gonna create another table. It's also nice, and this is our sales data, and this is our order data. This is a bit more detailed, and this is like more general. So we're gonna go to orders, and we're gonna go the order ID with. We want to enrich the data a little bit, because otherwise you only see the order ID. I want to see the order ID, and I want to also see the product ID and the warehouse ID. I just want to have all the data from that order table in here. Product ID and warehouse ID. I want it all in there. And now it's nice because now you can see the power of the filtering. You can click on a certain order. Let's see, order one, and then you can see where it is. Oh, well, bound to be wrong. About something is going wrong apparently. Oh, it's all in warehouse ID 5. What if we do warehouse ID 10? Not really filtering. We'll do Spain. Click on Spain. Nothing in Spain. Here it is. Okay, so yeah. So if you click Spain, for example, then you see like which orders have been placed in Spain. So these two, order 15 and order 41. Why that does not work the other way around, I don't know. Yeah, gonna need to look into that. But anyway, like what interesting is that you can then click on this, and this will click on this, I mean, and this will change with it because they're connected. Just how you read this data, you have what it means basically is that there you see multiple orders, and it means like order one consisted of product one and product two in warehouse five and warehouse five, and I think on the top of my head, warehouse five is the Netherlands. Yeah. Yeah. So we can also maybe do a slicer again. Nice drop down. Oh yeah, we can do copy paste. I mean, so copy paste. And here I want to not do the description of the products, but I just want to do a bunch of orders with the order ID. So I can then, if I am an employee here, I can look up orders and I can look up information. So for example, let's say like a customer has a question and says like, yeah, my order ID was 13. And I can look it up, and I know, oh, okay, so you bought it at in the Netherlands, and you bought a product two and a product three. And you know what? Let's do it on the fly. We can also then we should be able to also then give the name of that product two and product three because we know the ID, and the ID is connected to the description. Uh, if you I don't know if like that's clear or not. If not, then I can go into that a bit deeper. But anyway, it should be if I then do the description. Yeah, so I can just click on description, and then I have product ID, and then I also have the name of the product, which is quite nice actually. So I know this person that with order 13 purchased it in the Netherlands and purchased a hoodie and a long t-shirt. So that is pretty nice. Already it starts to look like something that we are having. It starts to become a bit of an overview. Just gonna deselect so we get all of it. Let's see the next step. If we go one level deeper, what shall we do next? Um, I think it is actually time to, well, okay, I want to go to that we're actually gonna calculate profit. That we actually can do like a profit calculation and like see that over the different months. So that becomes a bit of a challenge. So I think can we do something before that? Well, we can fix this, or we can also, what might be nice is another thing for the filter, which is that we can create when we can filter on date. I think that's nice as a next step. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another slicer. This time I actually want to create a whole new one because I want to do something completely different. It's called a date slicer. So as you might guess, it only works with fields that have a date value. Remember that I had like different values. I had numeric, I had names, and I had date. Well, if it's date, then I can use it to create something which I'm going to show you in a bit. I am going to use the date of. I'm just going to go and take a quick look how I did it before, just so I don't make any mistakes later. I chose the sales date. So I'm going to put in the date. And now you see a range of dates from the 23rd of June until the 23rd of June 2020. Yeah, 2022. Yeah, 2020 to 2022. Oh, okay. So there should be a different style. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it was a bit too small. Sometimes a problem with Power BI, if it's a bit too small, you cannot see the full functionality. But here's nice because now you have like a date range, and you, as a user, you can drag it and you can make like a certain pick of a time frame that you want to take a look at. So let's, for example, say that we want to take it also as future data from for some reason, so we want to filter that out. We want to take the end date of what we're going to analyze as the last one. So we want to have, was it today? 27th of June. It doesn't, it should be 2021. And then 27th of June, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, 27. And then 21, not 22. Thank you. There you go. Why is it going to 22 again? I said 21. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I press enter and that resolved it. So then you only have like a certain time frame. So we want to only look at like what happened during that moment. Just as an example, let's make it really, really small. And then you can see like there's only like a bunch of orders that came in between these two dates. Okay, so that's nice. Now we're gonna go with the heavy stuff. We're gonna go and do the profit calculation. So within Power BI, you can also do calculations. If you're good at math, then this might be a bit easier for you than like Power BI also offers something which is that sort of helps you if you want to make like a calculation. If we want to do profit calculation, gonna show you how it works in a bit. I just want to first, I want to yeah, let you sort of think where in our data can we get the profit from? How can we calculate it? Of course, because I have some delay in the stream, I cannot see live answers, unfortunately. But anyway, like the answer is that you can get your sell price and then minus the manufacturing cost. That's sort of like how deep we're not gonna go like with extreme calculation because of course there's also other costs that you make, but just for this example we're gonna do the sell price minus the manufacture cost just because we have that data. We're gonna do it in euros. We can also do it in BES, but let's do it in euros for now because it might be a bit more familiar for everyone. We're gonna do a measure, as it's called. So a calculation within Power BI is called a measure. You can see that within Home, and on the top end you have a tab which is called Calculations, and then you have Measure, Quick Measure, or New Measure. And Quick Measure is nice if you don't know a lot about the programming language that Power BI uses, which is called DAX. And if you already um, if you already do the how do you say it? If you do know DAX for some reason, then you can also know you can use new measure. Then you have to just code. Quick measure is the nicest, I think. So for that, there's one more important thing. Like if you select a certain table, so on your field list, right? If you select a certain table in the fields, then that is also where your measure is going to go. So I'm just going to go quickly look where my measure was last time when I did the example. I did it within currencies. Actually, why did I do it there? Doesn't make. Oh, no, sorry. I did another measure. I did in products. That makes more sense. In products, I made a measure called profit. So that is what we are going to do as well here. Just give me 1 second. Let me see in the code how it looks like again. Yeah, I did a. Ah, yeah, I did. Okay, so without making it too difficult, I took the average price of products that we're going to sell minus the average price of the products that is the manufacturing cost. And why did I do that? Why did I not just go into depth and actually did it nice and did like profit calculation uh, per product? That's because it gets a bit more difficult within the calculation. I don't want to make this stream a math stream. I want to make it a Power BI stream. Just like to see like the different what you can do with Power BI. So that's also what we're gonna do here now. I am going to go to products, quick measure, and I want to do a minus. Is that it? Subtraction. There I have a base value, which is my sell price in euros. And the value that I have to subtract, so what goes off, is the manufacturer costs. And then it says count of sell price and count of manufacturer cost, and that is something that's very important, which is goes wrong a lot of times. That's something you do not want, because count means that it actually counts the amount of times that that thing has been in your data. So let's say you have that at 10 cells, 10 you sold 10 shirts basically, then it's gonna say 10 minus 10 because you had 10 sell prices and you had 10 manufacture costs, so you get 0. And that's yeah, that's not good. You what you need is you need to do something with that price. So you can make the nicest thing is to actually go into depth and and actually do a like real good calculation of like the different sell price for every different product. But as I said, like I just took just for this example like an easy route. I chose average, so it comes close to your actual profits. So your average sell price of the products that you sold versus the average value of the manufacturer cost. That is how we're gonna go with our measure. So if you have that, uh, you can click OK. Oh, I just got a question. Are you doing the calculations in Excel? No, I am doing, which is actually, it's a very, very good question. I am not doing that, and the reason is that it connects to the data, uh, and it is a live connection, meaning that like if you refresh this page, it refreshes, it gets like the data in again from its connection to Excel. And if you can do the calculation in Excel if you like that, but you also need to refresh Excel then. If, for example, if more data has come in, so to say, then you need to do both a refresh in Excel and in Power BI. And if you do all the calculations in Power BI, then you only need to refresh Power BI. So that's why I'm doing it now. But yeah, if you want to do it in Excel, you can also do it in Excel and then just import that field. Uh, and yeah, and then you can maybe yeah, but actually it's a nice idea. You can maybe go more into depth and actually like do an actual price of every product and create like a better image of the profit of the profit that you made. So yeah, here's my how do you say it? My measure. It still ended up in currencies, even though I was pretty sure I clicked products, but it's not a very big deal. It's just for how do you say it? It's all right, just like not too tidy. So now this is our title. It's called average of sell price euro minus average of manufacture cost, which is quite a long title, I think. So I'm just gonna call it profit. It's just for ourselves. It doesn't have to do. It's not gonna go with how do you say it? Not gonna make a big impact. It's just for ourselves, for our readability, so to say. So I'm gonna click OK. So now I have profit. And if I did correct, I can already show you what it looks like. So I have what did I do again? A card. I'm gonna explain in a bit. So a card is a very simple visualization, and it just shows a certain value, but it shows it, I think, nice, like big letters and everything. Click on profit. Profit is now 5 for some reason. 5. It's a bit. It's not too much. Oh, maybe it's because I only selected a small time frame. Let's see if I do it now. No, it's still 5. Okay, shit. That probably means that something in my calculation. It's either that or something that I'm actually more worried about is that it has to do with this relation table. That we still have to fix that. Uh, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't because it's all on the same table. It's just manufacture cost and then sell price. Okay, that is an interesting one. So I said average product sell price minus average product manufacture costs. So let me just see. Can I figure out why it says 5 and not something like in the hundreds or something? Could also be that I'm just, like didn't make that much profit. Um, okay, wait. What I'm gonna do is gonna compare these two because I already did it before. So, uh, okay. So my calculation first was just the average product sell price minus average product manufacture cost. Oh, but I do need to count the orders and then times the average price. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. That does make a lot of sense. Because right now, how is Power BI supposed to know that which orders are actually included in the profit and which are not? If we, for example, decide that we only want to do the profit of Spain, for example, how does it then know that it needs to pick only the orders of Spain? So besides that you have the average sell price and average product, you also need to do that times the account, so what we came up with earlier, right, of the orders. So you do need that. I'm just gonna cancel this out. If you get this, then please yeah, please just type this as well. And if you say, can you please also show us like how to do this in a quick measure, then I'm going to do it again. Just delete this and do it again, and then this time we'll do it right. But yeah, maybe I don't know if you say like, oh, this looks good, then we can just continue with this. So before I actually maybe overspeak myself, just load it again. That it does it actually. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now it looks better. It's 476. Sorry, 67 euros, which we will take any day, right? And that's the profit. So which we calculated, not the actual profit, but that we calculated. And it's nice because it's connected, so you can also, well, if it was connected, you could filter this. Why isn't that? It's because I think the products where we get this from are not connected in a relation table. So we're gonna fix that. It's gonna fix a lot of our problems actually. And that is because there are some things that still need to be fixed in a relation table. Again, the relation table gives just an overview of, yeah, how the relation is just between tables. And then I don't mean like human, like humans have relations, but just like relation with the data. So, uh, yeah, like how you typically read it is if, for example, there's a warehouse ID in one table and there's a warehouse ID in another table, then there can be a relation between the tables, meaning that if you select some warehouse ID from one table, it automatically filters in the other table. That's sort of what it means. And then these stars and stuff and arrows and stuff also mean different things, but we do not need to go, I think, at least into that much depth. Oh, you're not seeing the screen that I'm seeing right now. That's because I just want to quickly see what goes wrong um, in here, like order ID, so to see. Why isn't sales connected to orders? That is my big question. 24121. Okay, there's something weird about it. Oh, I see. This is something interesting. This is something, by the way, this happens a lot. Don't think, maybe in tutorials that it's good. Um, but like in real life, this happens all the time. That you just encounter problems and you need to fix them like on the fly. So it's maybe good to go into this because what I highly suspect is that one of the order IDs is not unique, meaning that there are some duplicates in it. And tables don't like that. Like I don't want to go too much into depth how it works, but if you want to make a relation between two tables, you have to have a unique ID for at least one of the two tables. Or else you can do, yeah, I can. There are different things to be done, but that's maybe for another time. I do get some questions in, so just I'm gonna go through them in a bit. I'm just gonna go first fix this, and then I will go back to the questions. Some good questions coming in. I will go back to that in a bit. So where we left off, right? I suspected there were like duplicates in what I thought were the order ID. Well, that's obvious that there are duplicates. So in the sales then, in the sales. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I can already see it. There's O1 here and there's O1 there. And that is something we don't want. We want to have, you know, only unique values. So that's because it's a sample data, and what you could highly suspect is that it's like random generated, and that's because the reason is that there's duplicates. But if this happens in real life, then you need to make this a bit of a deeper investigation because then probably your software is, not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So now we can do a quick fix because it's a tutorial and we know the reason why it goes wrong. But if this goes wrong in real life, you need to have a look at your software. How we're gonna fix this? We're gonna just we can transform the data like we did in the beginning. So you go to Home, Transform Data, and it's just a function, and the function says remove duplicates. So that's already a nice one, right? So it was in sales and here, and there is how do we do it? There is yeah, there's an option. If you do right click, you can say remove duplicates. Close and apply. Now it's loading and it's done. So that was one thing that we fixed. Let's see if that was the only problem or not. So I'm gonna drag order ID here, and it has relation now. Okay, that's good. So now it is now this is connected, and this is connected to here, and customers connected. The only thing that doesn't connect is currencies. I did include it in there, but maybe if we have some time at the end, we can also include currencies as well, that you can switch between BES and Euro. Um, Actually, it's also one of the questions that came in. One of the questions, it's a good question, says, can you change it so that it indicates a euro symbol? Nice, yeah. Because if you see the dashboard now, you might get confused whether it's profit in BES or in euros. Yeah, very true. Good one. Yeah, very nice one. We should be able to do that at least. So that I think I'm just gonna try some things, right? Because I don't know on the top of my head how to include the euro symbol, but I think it's in formats. And you can just say like it's a currency. Oh no, I think I know how to solve it. Um, it's in DEX, I think. So the programming language behind Power BI. So what I will do actually, because it will take some time, I will need to look up like the exact syntax for it. But I will quickly show you where you can solve it, and I will then at the end of the live stream, I will add a link as well to the solution. So now where you can solve it is over here. So if you click on your measure, you have this right, profit, and then the whole calculation, and then you can put this between brackets. So you need to do a little bit of coding language between brackets, and you can put a currency that wraps around it, so to say. So your answer is not going to be in numbers, but it's going to be in currency. Maybe I can try something. Yeah, there is something called currency, returns the value as a currency data type. So let's just try this, and if this doesn't work, then I'm gonna go and give you a link at the end of the live stream. Let's just see, does it do something? Nah, it does not. It just shows the number. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I'm gonna do the link at the end of the live stream so we can look it up. Oh, and I also saw a nice workaround. So also pretty smart. You can always title the card profit and then in euros. That's very true. So yeah, if actually the use case is to not make it confusing, what you could also do is go to format, and we can go to yeah, we can do two things. We can either switch on the title and make the title profit and then the euro symbol. Let me just quickly get the euro symbol. Here. So this is a nice workaround. So now you have the profit in euros, so we know it's in euros. Or we can change this thing which is underneath, and that is called the what's it called? Oh no, no. I know that we do then profit, and we call our whole measure profit in euros. So we call the measure profit and then brackets euro. So now it's here as well. So now it's double, but you can do two things. You can do the title of the card, or you can do the data set. You can rename your measure profit euros. And then there's also an option that you can actually do 4, 6, 7 euro symbol, but that's something you have to do within DAX, and I don't know on the top of my head how to do it. So it's good. Okay, yeah, nice. So we can continue. So we have the profit and it's connected, which is nice. So some things I was talking about earlier and that went wrong. Let's see if they go good now. So if I select an order, yeah, this is connected. That's definitely connected. So it shows what the order consists of. It also shows the profit that we made on that particular order, €5 on this one. And on 99 we made 5, so to see that can we also get an example of a different one? Probably one with more items. See, 01 is one with oh, I need to do always select in here because here you only select a single entry. 01 is 14 euros. Yeah, so that works. That's good. So what I still have to be honest with you, I don't understand is that if you click on like an order, it should also filter here. And it doesn't look like it. It looks like it still shows the whole map. The other way around it works. Like if you, for example, select Austria, then you only get the orders of Austria. At least, whoa, oh, okay, maybe this is something. You only get the sales data. Or, yeah, but not the order. Uh, so maybe those are not connected. Let's see. If we have the warehouse, warehouse is connected to orders. So that should be good. And orders is again connected to sales and also to products. But if it doesn't work, I can also, yeah, again, I think it might be cost a bit too much troubleshooting time to actually figure that out. I highly suspected something in this relation table, but not 100% sure. But like in terms of time, I think it's nice if we gonna like slowly wrap up the dashboard. Still some empty space here, and I did it intentionally because I want to do another measure in there. I was thinking of maybe a good old pie chart where you can see like which of our products is doing the best of all of them. So is it the hoodie or is it the shirt or is it the long shirt? That I also want to know, and I want to see like how much that is in percentage and everything. So we're gonna do in there. Gonna put in a pie chart, and then in that pie chart, gonna select some. Well, give you a bit of time to think. Like, what should we select? It's often a question of what you want to show per, and then per something. So in this time, I want to show profit per product description. So there you go. So now it says, yeah, thanks to the question, profit in euros by description, which, yeah, is pretty nice title. And then you can see, yeah, 28% roughly is our Osita shirt. I'm gonna make it a bit wider so you can see the whole title. And yeah, our best doing product is the long shirt, so to see. But now it's also nice, if this works, and I really hope so, that you can see per country. It would be nice. Yeah, it does. Okay. There's also an option. Right now, it doesn't really. Yeah, you cannot really see it. Definitely not if you're watching on mobile phone. But there's a tiny, tiny dot in the middle, and that shows like the thing if we filter on Finland. I mean, Finland, yeah, we can take the Netherlands. That's like our main quarter. Yeah, here you see it way better. So now you see like this is our share of stuff that we do in the Netherlands versus the whole world. Is our main warehouse. And there's also the shirt and our hoodie and our shirt long are doing 25%, and yeah, we can also do in absolute numbers 96 of shirts and 120 of long shirts. Let's see, for in Jordan, for example, we do not sell any long shirts, so we can maybe think like, why is that? And we do the a couple of hoodies and a couple of shirts. Let's see, Antarctica, I'm very interested. Yeah, ah yeah, makes sense because it's well actually doesn't make sense because it's freaking cold there and there's no hoodies sold, so I don't know why, but shirts are sold and long shirts also. It's very interesting to look into that, like why that market is working as such. But anyway, that's some things that you can then yeah, you can easily see an overview in the dashboard. And remember, it's also connected to a data source and refresh every time you open it. So yeah, it um, like if new data is coming in, and this dashboard is also updated, which is very nice about Power BI, that you only need to set up everything once, and then you just have something. You don't need to do a lot of maintenance or typing or whatever. That's all on the data sources. You also can combine different data and whatsoever, like for future, how do you say it? If you want to make this one better. Okay, so now we have a pretty nice overview. What I also want to show is how you can make like what you always see in presentations, like a graph. And I want to do a graph with profit per like certain time frame, which is nice. You can see like, oh, how did we do this month and how did we do next month, right? Yeah. And for that, I was thinking of one of those stacked area charts. That's what it's called. So I'm gonna drag them in here. So if I want to do that, right? If I want to do a stack chart where I can see profit per like time, I give you a couple of I give you a minute or something to like think about that. Like how can we do that? Maybe you can try it yourself, and then in the meantime I can look at the comments. Okay. So again, it often is a question of what do you want to show per what. So profit per yeah, date. Let's see which date and which date. Last time I picked the sales date, which makes a lot of sense because we want to do sales data per sales dates. So now it's per year, and this is also something what I want to show you about Power BI. You can then, it's called drill down. So maybe you might not see it if you're watching on a mobile phone because it's a bit small, but if you see these arrows, right, you can drill down. So there's a small arrow here, it's like on the right top. You can click on turn on drill down, and then the two arrows, which means actually drill down. And drill down actually means like that you go from year to how was it called, quarter to month to day. So there, for example, you can draw on per month. And if you, for example, just want to do one more explanation, if you say like, yeah, quarter, I don't really want to use, what you then do is then you go just in your visualization data where you see date, you see underneath date, you see year, quarter, month, and day, right? And you can just like click the cross next to quarter, and then the quarter is gone from your overview. So if you then drill down, it automatically goes to month and not to quarter. So there you go. It's a pretty nice chart, right? Because you can then see like in this year, uh, let's see which year did we pick. It sucks a bit because you cannot see which year it is. Don't know why actually. Maybe we need to. Ah, yeah, there you go. Ah, it's again that problem. You just need to make it a bit longer, and then you see it. So January, February, March, April, like that stuff, right? And here 2021, and very interesting 2022 is just because automatically generated data. So if we then click 2021 and then drill down, we get the, if it's correct, we get the data for 2021. At least that's how I thought it works. And otherwise, you just get an average of all the different uh, months. So just to be sure, what I want to do is create another of these slicers with the year. It's always nice. that you can filter down on which year. In theory, you could already do it here in the slicer, but it's also nice to have a drop down just to quickly switch between like 2020 and 2021. So for that, you might already know, you just go and select date, pick the sales date. Since they are connected, it shouldn't really matter. Oh, let's see, can I also make sure that it only shows options for years? Because now it shows literally every date, and that's a bit. Let's see, probably over here. Oh yeah, data hierarchy. Yeah, there you go. So if you go on fields within the slicer and then you click on date and then you click the arrow down and you don't select date but date hierarchy, if you check that, then you get a bunch of options, and I just disable everything but year, so you can then click your year. You can do 2020, 21, or 22, and I picked 2021 just because that's the year. So you see profit changes as well, and this is now very nice because you see like the actual sales for January, and actual sales for profit, sorry, not sales, profit for January, February, April, May, March as well. I don't know, March. Okay, March probably no profit in March. Could be. Yeah, a nice overview. Okay, we're gonna slowly wrap up because it's already looking good. There's a couple final touches that I want to do just to make it a bit nicer and show some functionalities of Power BI. Because it's a stack line chart, we need to also show you, yeah, we can do more than only show the profit, because we also want to show the amount of orders that came in that month, and should probably correspond to the profit. So we check that as well. We're gonna do this within the sales, the order ID. Oh, and then we need to not do it in a legend, but in the values. Is it possible, Power BI? Yeah, it is possible. So, and it's good that it's count of order ID. So it's just like how many orders came in January. And if you put your mouse in it, you can also see it in text. So you have profit 23 euros and 3 orders in January, which might actually, that is actually achievable. February is definitely achievable. It's 1 order. It's 9 profit, but hey, whoa, look at this. We have September. We actually got 6 orders in and the 51 profit. It's not bad at all. So that's sort of like how you can, yeah, you get a real better insight. Because remember what the data looked like when we just had a CSV file? Like you couldn't tell that stuff, right? Like when was the best month for us and which country that it was that. Actually, no, think about it. If we then click, for example, September, we should also be able to see like generally which country it is. As this stuff is not really working the way I want it. But we can see we see warehouse 5 4 times, so that's Netherlands 4 times, and we see, you know what? Let's also include that data in there as well. So instead of only the warehouse ID, I also want to show the location. So we already include the warehouse ID, and now I also want to include location. Make it a bit wider so we can see. And then again, that great month here, September. Yeah, we see the Netherlands, and we see Macedonia, Jordan, and Austria. Those are the big ones of September. And here we can see we sold a lot of hoodies and a lot of shirts, and not a lot of long shirts in that month. So that's all nice information that you can get out of just that overview. Okay, so one more thing I want to do is just a final touch, and then we can just start playing around and do some questions and whatever. Uh, we have also a table with customers, which is sort of nice if you are a for example, do some service and everything, or you have to answer emails, you can just filter on customers as well. So since it's connected, we can also then create another slicer. I'm gonna just copy and paste, make it a bit more pretty, move that shirt a bit down. Let's see, make this a bit less. I mean, this like also less wide. You get the idea that you probably want to have them all the same size, but uh, yeah, for this example, it's all right. Shirt, and you want to do the instead of the date, we're gonna go for customers, and I want to do the customer first name. I think that's nice because then and year can go away, so it's only the first name. Because then you can, if you get an email from someone, Dane, then Dane hasn't made is a customer, has made an account but hasn't made any orders, I think at least, on or not in 2021. That could also be. Yeah, okay, so not in 2021, but actually did quite some orders. Dane um, did 3 orders, and they consisted the first time of these 2 products, second time of one product, and the third time of these 2 products, hoodie and shirt long. Okay, one weird thing, and that's just because of the data set and because the sample data is that he moved to Spain for his second order, apparently. Yeah, it's just manually, this because it's manually generated data. It will happen a lot with all these names, but it's nice that you can then, yeah, if you get an email from someone, you can just click through, you can see, oh, they ordered this, so you already know like when, where, for how much, which order. You get all the data just by yeah, via your dashboard. It's quite nice. Oh, sorry. So yeah, I think we got a pretty nice dashboard now. We can just do some quick cosmetic stuff. You can just move this around, make this maybe. You can do some with nice colors and everything. You can do background color is can also do blue and doing a bit of like the Osita colors, blue and orange of the dots and everything. Doesn't look too good, but yeah, just for a final touch. All right. And actually, I'm just gonna go focus on questions now. So we're gonna wrap up. And if you have any questions, please post them into the live chat. And since this is a late live chat, in the meantime, I will show you a bit of the Osita website, like things for the future and everything. So Osita merch actually coming up. That's a nice one. And also, if you maybe can let me know for what you thought of this presentation, besides then, of course, like in the beginning with the technical difficulties and everything, that might have not been the best, but like what you thought of it, you can maybe let me know on the event page. So you can post a comment there, or you can just email Osrita if you like it better. But anyway, like if you let me know, then also maybe you can let me know like if you want to continue a lesson 2 for this in the future or not, which can also be. And then what kind of things you would like to maybe go into more detail. A couple of things we can do. We can go deeper into a database level or different data sources. We can go also into make them more difficult with more complex calculations. We can also maybe get another student on the stream which is more into economics, and then combine the knowledge of Power BI and economics and create something cool, or just do something in how do you say it? in like more advanced Power BI. And then a different example, if you have like a something that you really want to see, can we also make a dashboard for this? All possible. I see one question coming in, so I'm gonna answer that. Do you think this will replace all the data analysis techniques like SQL? Very good, very good. Oh, and also another question. I was wondering if Power BI can be for other purposes than business visualization. Yeah, Power BI. I would say. Oh, and I also got another question. Okay, I do one by one. So first, what do you think is the most useful function of Power BI? Let me think a little bit. The most useful, most, because there's a lot of useful ones. Um, I can give you two. One is on a very general level, and that I think like a really big strength of Power BI is that it can combine so many different data sources. So if you go to get data, you can go get data from the web. You can get it from actual databases that maybe your company has. You can do CSVs and Excel that you created either yourself or downloaded from a partner business or whatever. So you can combine so many data sources. That's something on a more data level that I think is very useful. And the second I would say is just like the in general, like how Power BI, how user friendly those visualizations are. So as you saw, right, like we basically did in 2 hours, we created like a nice overview of a business, and it was just by clicking around and by dragging and dropping different uh, visualizations, which are all pre-made by Power BI, and then just clicking like which data sets to use for it. And that's sort of like how we created this. So I think those two things are the useful things for that. It's very combinable with different sources of data, and second, it's so user friendly. Second question is, I was wondering if Power BI can be for other purposes than business visualization. Yes, definitely. Power BI, like basically anything that you want to, if you just have some data and you want to visualize it, it doesn't have to be business data. It can also be. I've seen people do, for example, home automation. Something for which a lot of homes are gonna get probably in the future is that they also have devices which can talk via Wi-Fi and that those also leave data behind. So you can, for example, you can create like a dashboard for how much usage of your boiler was, for example, during summer and winter, and then compare it, right? And over the years and everything. So you can do some interesting overview of that. As you saw, you can go as crazy as you want. You can even go you have sources like Facebook, for example, or Twitter that you can analyze the amount of tweets that have been retweeted or whatever from us and or your own account or business. Yeah, so yeah, you can make it as crazy as you want. Doesn't have to be per se business, I would say. See, next question. Do you think this will replace older data analysis techniques like SQL? That's a nice question, also because it actually has been asked during my graduation, and I sort of think so. I also went to uh, other competitors of Power BI, of their presentations and open days, and they are also it's more and more the future. I think that things are becoming more user friendly. So you sort of see that as a trend that more and more people are being able to yeah analyze data and just by dragging and dropping, and it becomes even like there's some future things that you also can you can create dashboard by just your voice. Basically, you have like voice-based querying that you can just say, for example, show me this per this, and then um, Power BI will then know, yeah, how to show the visualization. So I think it's a trend, at least until now, that it's becoming more and more accessible and more user friendly. So probably, yeah, you don't need to have like a degree in SQL uh, if you just want to do that. If you just want to create dashboards, still useful if you want to go into it deeper though. That's definitely also true. Okay, combination will be very cool indeed. Yeah. Let's see. Can you import data from any web page? Can you give an example? Yeah, I can. I can quickly show, but I think that's actually a nice one if we want to do that for the next time. What you just do is you click on Get Data and you get Web. So you go on Web and then you just pick the URL. What it then does, it will, I can show, but it probably won't make much sense. We need to do this in another session. It will give like a lot of data back and it just gets it from the back end of the website. So it depends a lot on what kind of website it is. If it's a very structured website, it will be very, yeah, easy to do. And if it's just a complicated website or website that sort of screens off certain types of information, then it becomes more difficult. So not every website, but there are quite a bunch that yeah you can just access. I think it's a nice one for a future one. If this is interesting, to also see if we can connect to websites and get data from there, and maybe even go into the HTML would definitely be a nice one to go into that because it's one more level above what we discussed now. Okay, like tracking prices from supermarket bears. Yeah, that's definitely possible. I actually know this is possible because I've done it. That you can just go into the HTML. Might be a nice one again for the future, and you can just see on real time. You can see yeah, you can see the prices for if you go, for example, to Albert Heijn or to Jumbo and then compare them, like where should I go to get my beer? But there's also challenges with that, and I think it's nice if we go into that deeper for next time maybe. Let's see. Do you maybe own a wearable that measures your heartbeat? If so, could also be cool to make a dashboard with that data. Definitely would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you can connect to the data source, you can also do that. It's actually a nice idea. We have some good ideas, I think, for future if it's interesting for future streams that we actually get a wearable on Ostrita and just like measure maybe a heartbeat like in rest time and in when we for example fitness, or we ask some people that have wearables like can you I have some ideas, like maybe it's a nice one to think about for the next time that we can create a dashboard with more that kind of information. Would be very cool. Yeah, can experiment with that as well. Okay, with that, I think we're gonna slowly wrap up. Unless there's any questions, gonna just go wait a little bit longer because there's some delay. So maybe there's some questions coming in. Just gonna wait one more minute. Don't see any right now. Yeah. So maybe I can just quickly show the website and what we have upcoming. So the website, yeah, it is continuously being updated. We have now a newspaper also, and we have a nice gift. Everyone can get one badge if they sign up for it. If they subscribe to the newspaper, there should be a box where you can subscribe. I'll check that out. Yeah, it continues being updated, and also keep a good eye on the events because there's some good ones coming in. Like I said, we can also continue with Power BI, but there's already some other nice things planned, like creating an online game, which I think is a very interesting one. That we're gonna work together with different disciplines to create an online game. So we need to think of a lot of different disciplines come together. I think this is something that Osuta is actually really. This is one of the purposes of Osuta. We have students which have sort of a programming background, students that have a maybe gamification background, students that have a design background, and then all bring them together and like create different modules and then together develop like our own game. And you can think of so many things that come with it, music, maybe even students that can think of just a storyline and everything. It's a lot of possibilities. So I'm very stoked about this one. Yeah, and also please let me know on the Power BI course on the event, like um, the uh, let's see, sorry, this one. Like you can post maybe a comment like what you thought of it, and also if you have any ideas that you want to see in the future. Like, if there's any interest, then I will definitely create a next course and create like a level two, where we can go into deeper. So if you have any examples, like we had, for example, in the comments last time, then yeah, then we will make a new one. We can maybe go deeper into that. So it's good. It's very nice. And also we have some things that are ongoing, right? So you can still go to the party page, still on the timeline because of it's slowly opening up. But yeah, you can still vote for Cocktail Wars, of course, and and yeah, keep an eye on this one because it's gonna be a nice party coming up. Okay, I think that's it. And then I want to thank you. I also see some comments now coming in. Yeah, it was nice. Again, sorry for at the beginning with the technical difficulties. I think we managed at the end still to yeah, make something nice of it and actually get an idea. And yeah, excited for next one.